What's going on, guys? I am back, and today I am actually doing my check-in from earlier in the week. I know normally I get these out on Thursdays. This week has been crazy chaotic. We're getting our house all set in Las Vegas from Ohio. You know, we're currently in Ohio. We're getting everything ready. So we're going back and forth with our realtor, and it's just like a stressful period. But within the next 3 weeks, we start packing and heading out to Vegas. So we're super excited for the move, super excited to be out there kind of in that whole area. There's just so much to do and we love it. So very excited for that, but got the stress of moving to deal with. So I'm getting to this check-in a little late, but this was my check-in from Thursday, this past Thursday, like what day was that? 30th, May 30th check-in. This is my May 30th, week 12 of the off-season, growth phase, whatever you want to call it, check-in. And everything was really good. This was a great week. I'll start off with my metrics, just hop right into it. This week, weighing in at 218.8 on my check-in day. Today, which is a couple days later, I'm at 217.6. I had a super stressful day yesterday because of the move. It threw my lifting session off a little bit. My step count was lower, just wanted to, relax and de-stress. And then my wife and I also did an off-plan meal. Typically when I do an off-plan meal, my weight actually drops. It does not go up. So that is what happened here. We saw that. I think I was at 218.4 on Friday. And then this morning, Saturday, waking up at 217.6. So dropped some weight just because I do my last 2 meals as one larger meal and I wasn't eating so close to bed. So I think that probably just had something to do with it. But we are still up really well week over week. I think on the average, I'm up about 1.5 pounds this week, which is a little higher than it is some other weeks. But there's a couple reasons for that. As of right now, we have as of last week, we added more food in. As of this week, this most recent check-in, we actually upped my anabolics as well by adding in nandrolone, a 19 nor. So nandrolone typically brings with it a little bit of water retention and weight increase. Potentially, it's not drastic, but just that little addition could be driving some extra weight there as well. So that's it for my weight for the week. My glucose this week was a little bit high on my reading. That's because when I took it, I had a meal that was, my normal meal, but I had it a little closer to bedtime. So I think that my glucose had just spiked a little bit over the evening, a little higher than it normally would. And in the morning, I still had some residual from that. One glucose reading is not a reason to start making interventions. So no issue there, but it did come in at 97 this week. Blood pressure, though, was down, which is awesome. I love it when it drops without having to do anything. 125/78. That was a first thing in the morning, wake up and get a reading too, where your blood pressure is usually a little higher in the morning. So that was awesome. Really happy to see that. Everything felt good. This past week, everything has felt good. The only thing I will say is we've made some changes to training on my push day. The reason we've made changes to the training there, the dumbbells are just getting to the point where I'm working with the 140s, and my gym currently has those shitty old dumbbells with the giant bolt on the end, and just getting those things up on my own is it takes away half of my effort from the set, just getting into position with those things. So we're switching that out for a flat hammer strength press. Okay, so I can start progressing that. And then I'm also switching my hammer strength incline press for a Nautilus incline press. I love the Nautilus incline press. It's a great fucking machine. It converges really far. So it's a really, really good machine for pec development. Really happy to have that back in. And then we have, I think, kept everything else the same. I don't think there's been any other training changes this week. Yesterday I hit bilateral standing side delts just because I was a little time crunched. Again, I got a call in the gym from our realtor and it was threw me off. So yesterday's session was very good. It was just a little bit off on a couple movements. So the week has been good otherwise outside of that session and outside of a little bit of a, taking a volume decrease on my push day just because I was a little bit exhausted from it. We needed to make some changes there. Again, good week otherwise, really happy. Weight is still progressing, condition is still holding. Really, really good to see. I already touched on it a little bit, but we did make PED changes this week. No food changes. I talked about the training changes. PEDs, we just added 200 milligrams of nandrolone per week. Okay, so about 40 milligrams per day, roughly. I take MPP, nandrolone phenylpropionate. I prefer that over DECA. One, shorter time to actually get active in the bloodstream. Two, I just find that it has less issues for me, less side effects. I don't really have any adverse side effects with the 19 nor. Some people do. They have real bad anxiety, real bad mental issues. It just affects them. For me, it's not a big deal. Total anabolic load now is looking like it is about 2.4 grams, 2,400 milligrams. Current total cycle as of this week, 1,000 milligrams of test, 1,200 milligrams of mast, 200 milligrams of nandrolone, and 10 IU of growth hormone, 10 IU of Lantus in the morning, and then 5 IU of Humalog pre-workout. So that is everything. Honestly, my body is responding super well. All of my health metrics are still in play. I'm still hungry. I don't have excess fatigue. When I move to Vegas, we are going to take a deload just because I don't really have an option. I'm going to be driving out there. So there's going to be like 4, maybe even 5 days where I don't have access to the gym. So we're just going to kind of use that as a period to bring food back, let my body recover. You know, obviously I'm not going to be getting walking in or any exercise in the gym. So just kind of recover and rest. Take that period to, you know, recover as much as possible, except for the day we move things into the house, and then hop back into things at the new gym in Vegas, fresh and ready to keep growing, because I have about 10 more pounds that we can put on my frame. So like I thought, we're probably going to end up with me sitting right at about 230 to 232 pounds by the time this growth phase is done. Now, 10 more pounds, I would say that's, depending on my rate of gain, we're probably looking at anywhere between 8 to 12 more weeks in this growth phase. Remember, we are on week 12, so that looks like it's going to be a total of 20 to 24 total weeks in this growth phase, which is pretty much right on par with what I've come to expect from my body and how I know, you know, my timeline for growth usually looks. So very happy with how much weight we have added and how lean I still am. My condition for the off season is just holding so fucking well. Really, really happy to see that. And I think honestly, we're going to add probably 10 more pounds with very little change in condition at all. And we're probably only going to need 4, maybe 5 weeks to pull me back before growing again. So it's going to be super quick. I anticipate probably around the middle of August, pulling back to a deficit for a little bit, dropping doses, letting my body recover for maybe 4 or 5 weeks. And then maybe in the middle to later, like 1 week towards the end of September, we'll start pushing things back up again. And then it's just going to be another game of 5-6 months of steady growth. You know, if we keep rinsing and repeating the cycle where I'm putting on 30 total pounds and then we're shaving off 10, and I've put on 20 pounds of lean quality mass in a growth phase, that's the best thing I can hope for. And I am super, super happy for that, because my body is just responding really, really well to growth. There are still things I want to see come up. You know, I want to obviously continue to really work on my back. That is my toughest point to work. I have dropped down. That's maybe another training change for this week. I have dropped my weights on a lot of my back movements to really focus on a connection, really improve my form. Something I notice I do on a lot of, especially my unilateral movements, I involve my bicep and my forearm a lot in my pulls, especially when I have a neutral grip. And I'm trying to actively think about just kind of almost limp wristing it in a way, and just pulling through with that lat or whatever, you know, that upper back, depending on how I'm working things. So really trying to drop weights, bring the form into play, and clean things up there to get a better connection overall. But I am very happy with how things feel, with how the growth is going, with how much my back has improved overall, and honestly, just how much I've improved overall so far this growth phase. So very, very happy with all of that. And now we will go ahead and hop into my pictures. This week, I think I did it last week. I'm not going to bother doing my relaxed shots. I don't think there's a point in showing them. It's kind of boring anyway. So we're just going to hop right into my main poses for the week. And we are going to start with my side chest. So side chest this week, man, my leg feels like the most improved part of my side chest, I swear. Really, really happy with how that looks. Overall, happy with the shot. You know, again, we're going to kind of breeze through these in check-ins from here on out unless there's some significantly large issue, because my condition's holding, I'm getting bigger, and the poses are looking good. There's not much more to say about a lot of these, but this is my side chest for the week. And then now we're going to move into my front double for the week. So one thing that continues to bother me with my front double is just locking in that right bicep and that arm. It wants to drift up. And I don't know if I need to bring my left arm up to accommodate that right arm, or if I need to try and drop that right arm down. I think maybe bringing the left arm up is actually what I need to do here. But you'll see this week, my torso positioning, awesome. Got that locked in. Very happy with that. Just some fine tuning with that arm positioning and that shoulder positioning there in this pose. Overall, really happy. Condition looks good. Side tricep this week. Felt a little lackluster this week. I still don't know how I like to hit this shot. The problem I have is my left leg looks better from the side, as you saw in my side chest. So I want to hit my side tricep from the left side, but my mobility on my left side, I can't really lock my shoulder as well as I do on my right side. So I lose the main point of the shot hitting this shot from the left side. My leg looks better, but my arm doesn't. And also my abs look better from the right side. On the left side, they look a little flat and washed out. So on the right, you know, that's kind of the way I have to hit it for my upper body to look good. But then my right leg doesn't look as good. So I'm playing with hitting this a few different ways. I think what I might start doing is kind of do that like Dorian style or alternative shot here, where you drop that non-dominant leg back and just kind of squat onto the leg a little bit and then hit the side try, because I feel like that kind of lends itself better towards my leg structure and my overall body structure here. The only downside is that when I get on a stage and there's a comparison between me and someone hitting it the traditional way, their leg is going to look better. So I need to play with this and kind of figure out what I can do to work on improving this, but I'm happy with how it is now. Conditions holding. It looks good this week. Front lat spread this week looks way better. Torso positioning was good. I think I need to probably drive through my legs a little bit more here and kind of bring out the adductors a little bit. I don't think I was fully kind of sitting into my legs here. I think I had just kind of floated over them, for lack of a better term. But upper body looks good. Happy with this. Pretty happy with the symmetry here. Again, condition is holding. So looking good, happy with this. Looking at my most muscular this week, pretty solid, no real complaints here. I think I'm pretty darn happy with this. The only thing I think I can try and do maybe a little better job of here is kind of flexing that left trap and bringing my left shoulder down a little bit, kind of just tightening that up. But otherwise, really good, conditions holding, legs look good, super happy. Back lat spread. This is a great shot. I just love how much improved this shot is since we started. I'm really happy with this. I tried kicking my right foot back this week instead of my left foot to try and correct some of that torso positioning. I think it did do that, but I'm not entirely sure if I prefer kicking that right foot back or kicking the left foot back. I still need to play with that more. I think this week, since it was the first time I did kick the right foot back instead, it just felt a little awkward because I'm not used to doing it that way. But I'm going to play with it a little more because my left leg, I feel like, is maybe a little bit better to display backwards at an angle like this. We'll just have to see. As long as it doesn't affect my torso rotation or my kind of midsection rotation that I seem to have some issues with, I think we can safely drop that left leg back instead. So again, another one I'm playing with, but my back looks way better than it has in the past, and I'm super happy with that. Back double. This is where that right leg, I feel, hurt me. My torso, that kind of, weird rotation of my torso and that push back to the left of my hips did not get fixed by dropping the right leg back. So I think dropping the left leg back and kind of correcting that torso rotation is what I need to do. Just kind of almost flexing through my right hip a little bit more with that right leg forward will kind of bring that torso around and stop that drift back that I have. But overall, the back looks a lot better in this shot, continuing to improve. Obviously, this is my biggest area we need to improve, but working on it every single week, twice per week, Really happy with how it has been coming up. Just need to tweak some things to get it all the way there. Ab and the thigh, as you know, I hit it alternate with one arm down. That's just kind of how I feel this looks best for me. Really happy with this. Everything looks good here. I have no complaints with this. Conditions holding. It looks great. I love this shot. But that is going to be it for this week, guys. That's all the poses. That's all my updates. No crazy changes this week. Just a little bit of a training change, a little bit of an increase to PEDs, and keeping everything the same. Obviously, like I said, I took a day yesterday to just kind of lower my activity, have a off-plan meal with my wife, get us out of the house, de-stress after a stressful day of dealing with realty stuff, and we are looking forward to our move. It is coming up. I'm so excited to be at one of the new gyms in Vegas. I have made a decision on which one I'm going to, but you guys will have to stick around to find out which one it is. I will probably get back to my PED series next week. No guarantees on that though. You know, as I said, we're now within 3 weeks of our move, so the time crunch is here. I'm going to try and get my check-in videos out and all of my training videos out, but there might be some weeks where things get a little spotty in places just because we have so much to do for our move. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the check-in. As always, if you like this content, if you want to suggest content, if you have ideas, questions, anything for me, comment down below. Make sure to like and subscribe so you get notifications for my future content. And until next time, guys, take it easy.